Okay, today I'll do a quick video on Headland turn on Fendt. This is in a 724 Vario, on the newer software of Fendt, not the newest, but it's fairly similar across the boards. So break it up into a couple of little sections, but we're in a little field here. Got an 18 metre headland set, and I've got my auto TI set correctly for this implement. So I've got small little cousins on the back, just doing a bit of cultivations. So the key for auto turn firstly is you need a boundary and you need a headland, and you also want your auto TI to be working well, because what you don't want to happen is your auto TI not in sequence with your headland turn. So the way you access auto TI and headlands and bits like that is done on another video. So this video will just focus on the headland turn. So I haven't got it working at the minute, well, I haven't got it turned on, but the way you would go about doing that is, you can see down here we've got a little turn icon. But if I go to the spanner or the cogs, we have another icon there called turn. So I'll click that. So in here is going to be some parameters that we need to work out and focus on and get these correct. So I'll pause the video and then we'll go through these settings. Okay, so just go through the settings quickly for your auto turn. So click the cogs on the bottom left, then go to the turn. So top part to hit turn, you've got auto, manual, recalculate, and then preview. Auto, when it's green, means it's in the auto state, so it's, it's all working, functioning well. There's an alarm down the bottom which we'll look at as well, which is important to do. Manual, don't press that, I've done it before. If you press that and you're steering, it will just manually turn it, so I don't really know why that's there. You got a recalculate button there and then a preview button. So whenever you change something, so for example, if I wanted to change going from part field mode to K-turn, that would flag up a warning to say that I can't do it because it needs to recalculate, and then I need to do a process of selecting my start wayline pass and going through that process again, which you'll see in the video. So different turn patterns, so you got and we'll go through in this video U-turn, part field, and K-turn. The Y-turn is very similar to K-turn, so there's not really much point in showing you both of them. So U-turn does what it says on the tin, it'll do a U and then back into work, and you can have like a really shallow U, or you can have a really sharp keyhole and back in, depending on what implement you've got and what space you've got. Part field mode, which is what we're doing now, so that's basically going to loop all the way to the end of the field, and fill in everything as we're going. K-turn, you'll see in the video, will come up, go left, come back, and then back on the cells. So that one's quite useful for stuff like ploughing, or if you've got a combi drill or something like that, and you want to turn back on yourself, you can do that with the K-turn fairly easily. I'll just let it do its turn. So we're up in the air, going around, drop back down. So yeah, no input from me. Yeah, you could probably turn sharper, turn quicker, but we're sort of fairly accurate with what we're doing there. So starting wayline pass, so whenever you do anything with head and turn, if you're changing your turn or anything like that, you need to press that again, because it needs to know what wayline you're starting on. How many pass widths, so that's how many times it's going to skip or the pass, and then whether you're going to start on the right or the left. And in this sequence, I started it on the right because I was going up the field, and then it's going to continuously loop around. But it will, if you're on a U-turn or a K-turn, it'll automatically go left, right, left, right. This section here is all about your keyhole. So whether you want it to do a little kink to the left and then round, or whether you've got a bigger headland and you can go smoother. Your optimal turn speed is changed when you change this figure. So if I slid it further that way, that would slow down, and if I turn it that way, it would speed up. I'm not sure what the Pro and this feature are. I think the Pro is something to do with the segments on fields. but if you know, please let me know in the comments. And then this one I always have turned on, which is the Headland turn alarm. So it means that if something goes wrong, it's going to flag up that it's not going to turn, just so I know. The other things that you need to look at as well is that blue line's your boundary, and then this greeny one is your headland. So your turn radius is very important, very critical, which we'll go through later. But also this figure here, so that means that it's going to start the turn 2 meters after my headland pass. And the reason for that is, on this particular implement, is because I want that implement to be in the ground as long as it can be. If I've got a trailed implement, I could probably have that sooner, you know, like 1 meter, because my tractor can start turning with it in the ground, and it not be you know, affected too much. I can lift it out as I'm turning. So that's the sort of settings part, and then yeah, we'll go through the different turns. Okay, so first things first, it wants to know sort of the turning radius. So the only real way of doing that is to actually get out and do a circle and then measure it. So that's what I'm going to do now. So we'll go into the middle bit of the field. I've just busted the headlands a bit just because they've got some tram lines in, so we can run over that, not an issue. So what I'm going to do is get myself sort of straight, slow down, and then all I'm going to do is just do a tight circle as tight as I can. Because I've got a rigid implement on the back, this isn't too bad. I just need to make sure that it doesn't lift whilst I'm turning, or drop it down whilst I'm turning. If you've got a trailed implement on the back, obviously you want to do as tight a turn as you possibly can without jackknifing the implement or making it bad, you know, against the back of the tractor. So you can sort of see my marks where I've been there. So not the tightest of turns, but that's what it is. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop, and then it wants the middle point of that circle. So jump out, and I'm just going to pace it. I do have a tape measure, but we'll just do it roughly for now. So I can see where I've turned here, and then what I'll do is I'll pace across. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's about 10 meters across from the like inner part of the circle to the inner part of the circle. So we'll do some calculations and see what it comes up with. It'll probably be about 5. We'll just have a look. Yeah, so my diameter is about 5 meters. I've got 6 in there in a minute. If I put 5 in, it's not letting me do 5, probably because of the turn angle. So I'll probably keep it about 6. But if we wanted to, we could do sort of 5.8, see how we get on with that. So that's how tight it's going to turn. And then this is how long after the headland line I want it to start doing it. So because I've got an implement on the back that's rigid and in the ground, I've set that a little bit further back because I want it to get past a little bit, lift up, and then do the turn. So with those parameters set, we'll see if it will do it. It doesn't always work, and the Fendt system's a bit sort of picky on when it wants to do the turns and when it doesn't. Other systems that I've used, like Topcon, fairly simple. It's just like a turn, and you know, it'll do it 99% of the time. It's a pretty good little system. So we'll see how the Fendt gets on. So what I'll do is I'll line myself up, and then we'll go for a K turn first, because that one should work fairly quick, and then we'll go through the other different turn types. Okay, so I've got myself sort of lined up, not like super square. I've got K turn. I want to turn left at the end because I've already worked that part of the field. Starting at wayline, -18 is what we want to be on. So I'm going to go like that and go -18, tick. It will be 1 pass, and I want to turn left. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click the calculate button. That'll then work out what I can do. It says 58. So if I click on that, that'll give me a little preview of what it will look like as well. So we'll give it a go. If I click auto now, I've got a green for turn at the end on the left, going left. So let's see if this will work for us. So I'll hit the auto button. My implement's now dropping on the TI, and then my revs will my cruise will kick in and do that. So if I go up, another annoying thing about the Fendt, you can't zoom up. That's a good feature to have. So when we get a bit further up, we'll see if this K-turn will populate for us. If it doesn't, it will flag up an alarm, and it will say, yeah, can't do the turn. So at the minute it's not going to turn because the implement's in the ground. It's red. When it was up, it was green. So we'll go from there and see what it looks like. Okay, so we're coming up to the end, and hopefully you should see a little K. So we're going to go left, then reverse, then left again, and back in. So what I'll do is I'll put it on the lower speed just so I can try and film it all at the same time. So what will happen is my implement will lift out the ground, which it has. We're now turning left on the screen there, we're going left. Once the wheels straighten up, I'm just going to kick it back into reverse. So that's the only thing I need to do on this sequence, is hit it in reverse. So now we're going backwards. You can see on the screen we're sort of going back, and I'll go back past where we want to turn, and then I will then click it forwards. That will then pick up the next line, turn left, and then go into the work. And then my TI is going down again automatically, then my cruise will set in, and then we're away. So you'll see again on the bottom, it's now populated the right turn, so it's going to do the same the other end. So I'll film this one more time, and then we'll try some other ways of doing turning and see if they actually work. Okay, so we're coming up to the end again. You'll see the auto TI beep. Start the turn. When we get to the straight point, I'll then click it in reverse. So then we'll go past the bit of work that we want to do. So you can speed up if you want. I'm just going to do it fairly slow though to show you. So the implement's up in the air, so it's green. And then I'm going to click forward. It should start to turn. There we go, starting our turn in, and then we'll be beginning our sequence again. So up and down. So yeah, not the quickest, like you could turn quicker if you wanted to, but for accuracy and people who are less confident and that sort of thing, at least this gets you in the same place every time. Your implement's going in at the same time, you're steering in at the same time. So we'll try a different mode in a minute and see if that works. So we're going up and down. We'll try a different turn now. So we'll try a U-turn. So I'll click U-turn. No valid automatic turn. So I've got an alarm already. So because I've changed the type, and I want to tell it what I want to start with, -20. I'll do one pass. Maybe I'll do 3 actually. See if that'll work with 3. So I'll hit the calculate button. It's going to calculate the turns, and then I'm going to click the auto button. So now we're going to do a U-turn, but I will miss 3 rows. So this is and this will do it up and down the field. So this isn't going round and round and round. This is going up and down, up and down, up and down. So earlier I was struggling with this because it wasn't working too well, and I think the setting that I've changed is the angle, the keyhole angle that I mentioned earlier. So we'll see if this works. We've got 65 meters to go, so I'll stop the video and start it again. Okay, so we're nearly at the end. Before I do this as well, I'm going to slow down because I said my maximum turn was about 5k. So I'll just put it onto the lower setting. So I'll put it down to about 5.5, something like that. So we're coming up to the turn. Auto TI should kick in. It's lifting out the ground, turning left, and then it's going to do a sharp, turning right, sorry, then it will do a sharp left. You'll see I'm sort of getting near the edge of the boundary. Should be okay. It's going to find its line. We've done a little keyhole, so it's going to hoik itself back, lower down, and then we're in. So that's the sort of U-turn keyhole one, and you'll see there it's going to turn me right. So we'll try a different one. Okay, we'll go on to another one. So we're getting on a roll here. So now we'll do part field mode. We'll see how this one works. So again, we get the alarm, and I want to turn right, even though we've got a couple of breeds here. I'll just go right and see what it does. So we want to start on 23. We want it to turn right, and I think it's going to do 5 passes. It's defaulted to 5, so we'll give it on 5. So I'm going to hit recalculate, hit auto, and it's happy with that. So let's see what happens. Okay, so we're getting towards the end of this run. I'll slow down again a little bit near the end. So this is the one where we're going to skip a few runs, and then it should in theory loop around itself. So slow down, getting towards our headland mark. So our implement should raise in a minute. So implement's raising. Just doing a quick left turn before a quick right turn. So this is why it's important to have your boundaries as accurate as they can be. What I probably should do as well is bring the turn in a bit, but that would mean I'd have to get my implement up sooner, and I want my implement in as long as I can. So we're now keyholing left a little bit, getting in line, and then we're dropping down. Okay, so we've had a warning come up saying it can't do the next sequence. So I'm not sure why that is. So let's go in here and have a little play. So we're on 26. It might be because we've already coloured it in. So let's try doing a left turn, and we'll recalculate. Hit auto. No, it's not happy with that either. Yeah, no left turn available. So let's do a bit of troubleshooting. 26. Let's do 6 passes, see if that helps it. Right, it's happy with 6. So 6 is the magic number, I think, for that one. So we'll see if this one works and go from there. So this is what I mean with the Fendt. They can sometimes be a bit picky on whether it's going to work or not. Sometimes when you're going into gores, it doesn't like it. So we'll see it. But the K-turn worked, and the U-turn one worked. So it's just one of those things. You've just got to keep playing with it. But like I said before, you can probably turn quicker than this does, but useful in some situations, maybe if you're rolling or doing stuff like that. Just have it going up and down. Okay, so we're still on that infill pattern one. So you'll see it's going to do a U-turn, skip a few. So what I'll do is I'll slow it down a little bit. Just going to go across the threshold, lift my implement, turn left, then it's going to turn right. Turn right, then left, sorry. God, I can't talk today. So it's going around that U-turn. Still going around, and it will do a little kink back into the work. We've got the auto TI set for when it drops implement, it puts us back on cruise. So we'll go back up to our cruise speed. So we're happy with that. So it's now not giving me an error, so it's happy with that number. So I'm assuming I'll be coming back down one of these. So we'll see when we get up the other end. Okay, coming up to the end. So we're still on that infill pattern. So yeah, like I said, it's going to go and aim for that one that we just did next door to where we worked. So slow down. Probably slowing down a bit too much, but it's just so I can try and hold the camera steady whilst we're doing stuff. So it's going to kink right, kink left, turn in on its own, going around, right on the edge there, and it will come round and it will go kink in on the one. There we go, implement coming down. So that's headland turn on the Fendt. It's okay. It's good for, I guess, like this sort of work, cultivating. So now we're in a good routine now, so we're all right. It's going to keep infilling now across. So what I'll probably end up doing is fill these bits in and then crack on with the headland turn. Okay, thanks for watching, guys. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'm going to try and do a few more videos on various precision bits. I've got some cool stuff with spot spraying coming up and drones and other stuff like that. and whenever I'm in tractors, I'll be trying to do stuff like this to help people out, just sort of tutorial videos, or I'm not an expert, but if I can help someone, that'd be really good. I've been going up and down a little bit now with the infill feature, and it's been working really well. So I'll keep doing that for the rest of the day, or the rest of this field. I shouldn't be too long in here. So just a few things to remember about headland turn on the Fendt especially. You need to make sure you have a boundary in, a good boundary, accurate boundary. Make sure your headland's big enough that you can actually do the turn, and make sure that your auto TI is set correctly, so you're not turning with an implement in the ground. That's probably a key thing. And then the other thing to remember is that you want to be able to make sure that your tractor can turn in that space without jackknifing or damaging anything. That's probably the key things to take away. So yeah, I'm not slowing down as much, so yeah, fairly accurate. The only things that you're gonna do faster is you could do it faster, but I'm turning exactly the same spot, my implement's going in exactly the same spot either end, so I'm getting nice accurate passes. So that's a good thing about the headland turn. Yeah, you can probably do it faster, but good for you. So yeah, if you found this video useful, please subscribe, like it, share it. See if we can get a bit of a thing going with it. I'll add more videos as and when. I'm going to Agritechnica as well next month, so try and get some videos there of up and coming precision stuff and stuff to look out for. So yeah, thanks for watching. There's a John Deere over there. I don't think he's got headland turn now, so we're winning. See you later.